G'day and hello beautiful people, it is Muel here, and well, it is time to get this level up video out. And the reason it took so long was essentially it spans across 4 level up tournaments. So there was 3 solo and also a faction level up, which sort of is all incorporated into this video. And I also was leveling up during non-tournaments, so there wasn't even tournaments happening, I was leveling up, and that was just purely because of the amount of stuff I had, and I was trying to clear things so I could actually, do a few other things I want to do in the game. So you can never, like I said, you can never over prep for a level up. You will just get a ridiculous amount and a ridiculous score, and that's not going to hurt anyone as long as you're getting the prize that you want. Probably when it comes to a level up, like I said with the series where I did the prep, showed you sort of the prep for a level up, you have 3 main aspects in which you want to concentrate on. And the first one, as you can see here, I'm showing off my roster, and that is players to level up. You definitely need to have your players tiered up and ready to go on those levels so you're able to pump a lot of levels in them. You also need the gear to be able to also tier them up on the run when you're in the level up tournaments. I always recommend, if you are prepping your players to get them ready for the tournament, definitely tier them up before the tournament, but during the tournament have gear enough that you can tier up other players, I should say. Tier up other players? Okay, we're not the sun here. But anyways, definitely have some gear so you can tier them up there. And as you can see here, this is not my full roster, it's not the most updated roster. I will do a full roster review pretty much before I end this game and I stop playing it. I will do one very, very soon. So I have actually, got additional 5 stars and 4 stars on the way. And I did tier up a lot of my 4 stars to tier 4. And also I used a lot of, as you could see, them 5 stars. I had a lot on tier 4 level 1. I also had tier 3 level 1s. And it's just a matter of making sure you have the players that actually level up. And as much as you can, prep to have them ready to go so you're not having to do it on the run. You can still tier them up on the run during the tournaments like I said, so just allow yourself the gear there, but definitely you want them prepped beforehand, and that's what I did with all 4 of mine, and that's what I always do with my level up tournaments, is try to have my players prepped and ready to go. Now we're getting to the bottom end of the roster, as you can see here. We're scrolling through the 4 stars, so we're getting there. We're definitely getting there towards the end. I think I've got a couple of 2 stars and things like that, but I will show you as much as I can. Like I said, I did have to edit this video heavily just purely because how long it was and how much footage I had from all of those tournaments. So I tried to get all the important bits in there, which I will talk about and things like that. So you're going to hear more of my voice, which is always exciting for everyone but everyone. Anyways, so as you can see, training grounds, you want to make sure they're packed full. I had a lot of legendary, and then I had these ones. Now this was very early days of my training grounds, so that training count of each ground probably by the end of the tournaments was at about 2k, because I was just constantly adding to them, and I was taken from my legendary and things like that. My legendary training still now is at like 20 something days or something, so you just got to keep building. That's what you want to do when you start with your training grounds, is just to keep building and keep building so you have the players there. Now as you can see, basic tokens will fill your roster up and give you plenty of players to level up with, which is the second most important thing when it comes to a level up and prepping for a level up, is having the players to level up with. So essentially you need the players to level up, and now you need the players to level up with, which is where you get your basic tokens, your elite tokens, which give you trainers and also some gear if you're lucky, and then you also have your training grounds, which is what I was talking about for. So these are going to give you the players to actually level those players that you prepped up with, which is what you really want to do. As you can see, you can have huge amounts. This probably isn't as big as my roster did get, but this was just purely from the basic tokens, which you can also get weapons and a few other things from. So I think I had about 4k all up of the basic tokens. So as you can see, it gives me plenty of 2 stars. It also gives me plenty of 1 stars, which what I do with my 1 stars is that I actually use them. So I don't sell them off because I see them next to useless, because the majority of time 1-star characters are next to useless. When it comes to your renown points and actually getting your rushes up, you can actually utilize those 1 stars on 3-star characters or even 4-star characters and get their rushes up and get quick bonus points on those renown points and things like that. So don't sell off the 1 stars, use them to get your rushes up very cheaply when it comes to food also, and then get those extra renown points. Now as you can see, I have more than enough bags full of food here, and I also had level up bags, so trainer bags, trainer crates, persona crates, just a ton of gear of food and crates. And this is what you want to do, just everything you can stock up on. So don't open up those crates, don't do that, just let them sit in your general until you're ready to actually go. You also got to have plenty of stuff to get your food, because it's very costly. Leveling up your characters is very costly food-wise. We all know the ridiculous amounts when it comes to leveling up 5 stars, like millions and billions worth of food and things like that. So you definitely want to be making sure you have plenty of battle items to utilize getting that food back, and I guess to just maximize the amount of food you can stock and you've got access to during the tournament, which as you can craft a ton of food. Like I said, you can craft your high replenishers, deluxe replenishers, your medical kits and all that in your workshops. Now you do lose 50% of your investment when you sell it back, so just be wary of that. But if you do want to overstock yourself in the food department, definitely I recommend crafting either the high replenishers or the deluxe replenishers, just purely because they don't actually cost you materials, they only cost you the food, which like I said, you will lose 50% of that investment, but you're going to be, I guess, having the resources and the food costs there if you do need it in the end. Now as you can see, trainer wise here, like I was talking about before with the elite tokens, and also you got all these things in general, you're just going to end up with a ton of trainers. Now this was a different, I think this was a different tournament, I don't know, there's so many tournaments, they all sort of just mixed into one for this video. So as you can see, a ton of trainers in there. I think for my first tournament where I got the 2 million, I didn't really use any of these. I only used I don't even think I used any of my training grounds. It was more most of the basic tokens, and I think I used a few trainers and like barely anyone from the training grounds and things like that. And that's when I was like, whoa, okay, I can get a few more tournaments out of that, and that's why this video did take so long. Also, I guess one very important thing to get you very cheap points, and also I guess it's another good thing to stock up on and probably be patient with, is your training grounds, and well, not your training grounds, I should say, your scavenger missions. And essentially you got the 100k one and also the 60k one, which you can sometimes get an extra, I think it's 30k on your 60k one as a bonus, so it ends up being a 90k one. So what I did with that is I put in some level 1 tier 3 and tier 4 characters, and I just held them in there until the level up come, and then it was just quick points instantly. I think I got up to like 400,000 or something just with the training grounds. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it actually does regenerate itself and reappear a few times during the tournament. The most I actually got was I got it 3 times in one tournament. They were 100 XP ones, so that's definitely also a great technique to have when you're leveling up, is to use those. It's not going to use food. All you got to do is just wait your time and let your players sit in there, and you can still level up your players. Now as you can see here, this is me sort of showing you that when I was doing a few of my tournaments, actually quite a few of my tournaments, I've got this weird bug with my rush renown points at the moment. I'll actually get people's rushes up, but it won't count as the renown points even though I'm meeting all the criteria. So as you can see here, Ezekiel's went up 3. It was the same with Wilkinson before, and I'm meeting all the criteria for the rush level up here. For a rare or better character, he's rare or better, 3 up, and it's not counting. So my rushes is bugged, and at this point I don't really care because I'm not really going to go competitively for another level up. But yeah, thanks Scopely, you bugged me rush renown points for some reason. I'm not too concerned about that. I just thought I did show you that because that really held me up and sort of pissed me off a lot during tournaments because I wasn't getting the full amount of points I was. Now as you can see here, I tried to incorporate a bunch of level ups for different players using rushes, and this was from all 4 of the tournaments and things like that, so you'll get to see them all here. Unfortunately, like I said, for some reason my rush is bugged and it won't actually. So all those persona crates I saved, all those persona trainers I had, universal trainers, they were next to useless in the end for any of these tournaments because of that bug or whatever the hell's going on, the glitch. But that's how it goes down. I'm not too concerned with it. I got the characters I wanted and things like that, so I'm not really worried about it. Now moving on, the purpose of actually showing you these level ups and these characters getting leveled up is to emphasize how important it is to prep, and I guess to emphasize how important trainers are and how quickly they can actually level up your players. You'll see here I'll use characters and also trainers. So for example, tier 4 level 1 epic gets you 2k per level. So if you've got 2 Benedicts in there, that's 29 levels and 58k just for that, and it's barely any food. So you can level up very, very quickly and be very cost effective if you prep the right things and save your characters and things like that. Now, Why is that important? Because sometimes we need quick points very, very fast in the end when those people do try and snipe us right at the end of level ups, which we all know happens with any tournament. It happens. People try and snipe you and get you last minute. So you always got to have something in the tank, and it always helps if you can have 5-star trainers ready to go. And you know, if someone comes along, you can just put on 500k or something very, very quickly. And that's what it comes down to, preparation. That's why it's very, very important. And I think it becomes even more important for someone that is a free-to-play player. You know, there are big spending players in this game, and there are players that will continue to spend and will every bloody tournament or something like that, and just are crazy. But there are big paying players, so this game is very much pay to win. So the only way, you know, a free-to-play player sort of keeps us is if they prep too much and go a bit over the top. There's nothing more that pisses me off. I by no means am a free-to-play player, but there's nothing more that pisses me off than watching free-to-play players work their ass off and prep and then get pushed out by a guy that's willing to spend a bit extra and get those bit extra advantages. Hey, he may not have prepped as good, but he's willing to pay to make up for that lack of preparation and things like that. So I definitely understand that struggle, and I'm with you on the pissed off margin. And it quite annoys me when players like that aren't willing to give up level, you know, like tournament prizes and things like that. Any tournaments, you don't need to be winning rewards every single tournament. Let someone else have a go, and that's something that really annoys me in this game. But like I said, as long as you can prep fairly hard and fairly well, you're in with a good chance. You may not get the first reward, you know, you may not get the second reward. It depends who wants what it is and who wants to go for it. But you may get a reward that you want in the end, and you may, you know, surpass your expectations of what you thought you could actually get, or the points you thought you could put up, which is very, very important. But like I said, you could prep for months and months and months, and a paying player might not have the resources in the end to beat you. So it's just like, you just can never over prep, and that's what you got to do. Go hard. If you've got to prep for 4 or 5 months and just have ridiculous amounts of stuff to try and knock someone off that is a paying player, then do that. That's what you got to do. I know it's hard to sort of keep that patience and things in there, but sometimes it's worth it. And so what is the important things that come from this video and this series, the prepping series, is that definitely you have to sometimes go a bit hardcore when it comes to prep just to win these tournaments. This game is very competitive, so just go overboard and hopefully you get what you want. But as always, thanks for watching.